trying to see if the original video's up. But Ben Shapiro went on. I'm not really going to pull up the clip because it's kind of um uh whatever. But was that already 7 days ago? But
All my
Ben
life
was
I've been in
on.
the business.
Ben was on Pierce Morgan. Pierce Morgan brought up the Candace Owens thing, and he's like, no comment. And Ben was getting all giddy, getting all excited that Candace got fired. I mean, these people are sick. Uh, I was trying to see if there's the clip. It seems like there's this video of Andrew Klavan saying Christ is King is anti-Semitic. I mean, this guy is a clown. He's a fake Christian who has a gay son. I mean, this guy's a clown 101.
Of observing the world and writing or talking about what I see and experience. And one of the things I can tell you is that it isn't easy to communicate the truth with complete accuracy. There are always going to be small
And
discrepancies.
he's this like boomer guy, this boomer film critic guy that's never. I don't think this guy's ever been on Turner Classic Movies, but he like dreams of himself being on there. It's all like, yes, Casablanca. He does this. He's the guy that takes off his glasses. This is what people that pretend be smart do. They take off their glasses and they're like, yes, hmm, good point. Hmm. Oh yes, Citizen Kane's a masterpiece. Hmm. They take off their glasses and chew on it. I mean, that's what smart. That's what pseudo intellectuals do. That's what boomer pseudo intellectuals do. Yeah, this guy's a fraud.
Between what you report and what actually happened. For
Yeah,
instance,
we all know.
last week in a speech
Get on with it.
this, in terms of the people involved, I want to say that I am extremely proud of Jeremy, our God King. And people always say he calls himself that, but I called him that. I made it up to tease him and to keep him not
Get on
asked
with
unless
it.
there's somebody standing on my toe. I'm not going to give them I'm not going to volunteer my opinion. So we were friendly, and I certainly have no reason to dislike her personally, and I don't dislike her personally. I've never had any meeting with her where I walked away feeling, wow, I don't like that person. It just didn't happen. And in fact, I felt a small investment in her because, as I have bragged repeatedly of any number of people, I have a weird knack for spotting broadcast talent. I grew up, my father was a famous broadcaster, and so I just know it when I see
Rambling,
it. I knew it when I saw it in Ben. I knew it when I
just
saw it in Knowles.
rambling.
But she has this enormous talent. That's her gift. She has a right to decide how to use it. None of my business. She has a huge audience, I'm sure still. And so I guess they like that stuff. It's nothing to me. It just doesn't mean anything to me. It's not the sort of thing I listen to. But that's the way she wanted to go with her talent. That's a choice that each person makes on his own or her own. And I am not privy in any way, shape, or form to her thinking. Then the Jew stuff started. And here's what I want to say about this. And this is
These Jews, they. I am so sick of. Everybody's sick of it. This whole we're actually unique. Our tragedies are unique. No, it's not. Almost every ethnic group on planet Earth has been through some type of genocide, some type of slavery, um, experienced oppression. I mean, back in the day, there wasn't like we're talking pre, I don't know, 1700s. You were an enemy if you were simply it had nothing to do with your skin color or if you're European or not. You're simply an enemy if you're lived in a different country from somebody else, and you're a white European, for example. Um, if you were French, the English might not like you. You know, people were more divided by which country they lived in because back then people didn't really mix. So you were an individual ethnicity, nationality. You didn't really mix. So you were just oppressed on that level, just the country you lived in, not, oh, you're white or black or whatever. And um, Yeah, so everybody's been through it, and I'm just tired of this, "Oh, our tragedy is unique." No, it's not. What about the Armenian genocide, the genocides of the Soviets, the one the various African genocides? Um, and there's this new thing now where, oh, the Holocaust is actually not a genocide. It's like, what are you talking about? Imagine telling survivors, Holocaust survivors that. Like, how embarrassing.
Pretty much what I have to talk about because I don't want to attack her personally. I don't know what's on her mind and why she went down this road. Like I said, I just don't know her that well. The left has made bigotry and hatred valuable by calling us bigots and calling us hateful when we tell the simple truth.
Well, you guys cry about people being offensive to you. So you guys are hypocrites. And I'm just so sick of this, like Daily Wire, these neocon losers. Um, I'm so sick of these people. Whenever a black person does something like gets arrested, they foam of the mouth. They get all giddy and excited. These people do not like. They love making fun of black people. They fucking despise blacks. These neocon fucks. But when it comes to the Jews, oh no, you can't say anything. When it comes to white people, oh no, you can't say anything. So if you're of the mindset like you can criticize anybody, make fun of everybody, freedom of speech, race doesn't matter, then follow it through. You can't just cherry pick, be like, well, I'm Jewish or I'm white, so you can't. No, 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 no. That's going too far. I mean, these guys are fucking losers. Yeah, these people get all giddy when something happens to a black person. They get all giddy over it. But if the same thing happens to a Jewish person, they get offended.
So I say, uh, there's high crime in black neighborhoods, and the high crime is not because of slavery. It is because of fatherlessness, and it's because of a culture that's going on in certain black neighborhoods
Oh,
that is
here we
increasing.
go.
And the left says, oh, you're a racist. You're canceled. You stink. Somebody says homosexuality is against my religion. No, you can't host the Oscars. You're out of work. I'm called to HR. A man can't become a woman. Oh my God, you have phobia. That's a phobia to say a man can't become a woman. So the left has used the accusation of hatred and racism, bigotry and phobia to keep us from speaking the truth, which means that when somebody comes along and says something that makes the left go crazy, it sounds like the truth. So I actually got sleep last night. This is true. Made us in his image, every single one of us. That is written down. That is scriptural truth. That is right there in the Bible. He made men and women in his image. It doesn't say he made white men. It doesn't say he made black men. It doesn't say anything. It just says men and women are made in God's image. I believe that 100%. I've said this before. I don't know why the left is against racism. Obviously, they're not. They hate white people. So, whatever. They're just against, not having power. That's all they're against.
You guys hate boys. Because you know why? Because it's in the scripture that goys are equivalent of cattle to cattle.
I'm against racism. I believe it's a sin. I believe it's a sin. And God didn't ask me how to make the world. I assume he doesn't want
But he's
my,
not
you know,
he's a Christian Jew. But he's because he's a Protestant, so he's just Christian. I'm just a Christian when I feel like it. I don't know. This guy said, I don't know if he's gonna get to it. This guy really said, well, you can't. I don't know about the Bible, the New Testament. I don't know. Jesus. It's like you're not a fucking Christian, dude. Just shut the fuck up.
opinion about it, and this is the world we're in, and people have different colors, they act in different ways, people of different races do have different cultures, come from different places. Maybe there's genetic components to it. I don't know. I just know. I don't know. That's not in the Bible, and I don't think we have enough science on it. But I just know they're all made in the image of God, and that's the end of the story. As far as I'm concerned, you come to me. I'm looking at you. I'm dealing with you. If you're a criminal, you're a criminal. If you're a good guy, you're a good guy. That's it. I care about the color of your hat, not the color of your skin. So Candace stood by her friend Kanye
What does
West
that
when he
mean?
started
If he is he saying if you don't have a yarmulke, he doesn't give a shit about you?
spouting crazy stuff about going DEFCON on the Jews. Fine. She has a mentally ill friend. She stood by him, fine. It was a little uncomfortable, but still, so what? She attacked this guy, Rabbi Shmuley. I will tell you, with all honesty, I don't even know who Rabbi Shmuley is. I have no idea. I didn't look him up. I haven't seen anything from him. She's complaining about him. Fine. You don't like a rabbi? You're allowed not to like. You're allowed not to like Ben. You're allowed not to like anybody you don't like. If you can spell it out for me, what the problem is. But when you start saying things like some of those books Hitler burned weren't so bad. I was shocked. This is something Candace actually said. I was surprised to learn that the books.
Do these guys realize that the Nazis burned a variety of different types of books? It was a variety of things. It wasn't just one thing.
Hitler was burning, or the Nazis were burning, they weren't good books. They were bad books. They were socialist books. so they burn. That's true. Burning the book is the act of a savage, first of all. And when you start with burning books, you start burning people. But they burned Joseph Conrad, one of my favorite writers, Kafka, Hemingway, Jack London, and yes, some socialists, some of whom were extremely talented and some of whom were extremely interesting, like Karl Marx is an extremely interesting writer with whom I deeply, deeply disagree, but I don't burn his books because I'm not a savage. When you start saying that, that's a dog whistle. I'm sorry. I know it's a leftist
I just
phrase.
realized who he looked like. I was trying to think of who he looks like. He looks like bald Anthony Cumia. That's who he looks like. I just figured it out. He's this boomer guy that's read Fahrenheit, whatever that book is called. And he's this boomer. Oh, I read books. Oh, Hemingway, Kafka. Yeah, can you name any other author that we didn't read in fucking middle school and high school, dude? Uh, yeah. And by the way, Franz Kafka, like his books are like you read a Franz Kafka book and you have no fucking idea what you just read because it is the most boring shit ever. Okay.
Use it, randomly with anything you say. I understand all of that. Still, the depredations of the Nazis against the Jews are one of the most well-documented, recorded atrocities in human history because they're Germans. They're Germans. They keep records. They keep very good records. We know these things happen. They weren't burning books. They also hated Einstein because his science was Jewish science. They hated Mendelssohn, one of their great composers, because his music was Jewish music. That's the way they thought. It's lunacy. It's lunacy to think that way. So when you start to say, well, some of those books they burned are bad books, I'm sorry. That's a dog whistle. When you retweet a post saying a Jew is drunk on Christian blood, which goes back, as I'm sure you know, to old blood libel that Jews eat Christian children, that's a dog whistle. When you start to refer in this kind of clever way to certain group of people in Hollywood.
That Candace Owens was saying that I just retweeted the tweet because they gave me some factual information. I didn't read that part. I didn't read the Jews like drinking Christian blood part. I didn't read that part.
Corrupting blacks and killing Michael Jackson. You're not allowed to then put on an innocent look and say, well, I'm just saying there's certain people, just a few, it's not, I'm just saying, you're messing with us. You're messing with us, and everyone knows it And no one is fooled
Dude,
except
you guys literally like eating like nibbling on children's foreskin. Give me a fucking break.
those people who want to pretend to be fooled because they hate the Jews. The biggest truth that Candace told in that way that I find, again, and this is not personal animus toward her, but I find difficult to excuse this when anybody does it. The truth that hid wickedness, that I thought was the most wicked truth to use, was the truth that Christ is king. It is almost exactly
Here we go.
20 years since I acknowledged the kingship of Christ in my life and over the universe as well. It's like 2 weeks and it'll be 20 years.
Dude, if you don't acknowledge that Christ is king, you're not a fucking Christian, dude. Why didn't this guy just stay a Jew or just convert to Islam? I don't get it.
Years since my baptism. It was hard for me to do. It was hard for me to do. I'm a proud man and I want to be king. I want to be in charge of my life. I want to take.
It is such a Jewish thing to say. I want to